And I had to learn to believe in myself because I was like, I don't know, I can't. And then I found myself comparing myself to other people, but then I had to realize like these people have been doing this for 30 plus years. Yes, they're inspiring. Yes, you want to get to that level, but don't compare yourself. Don't, limit yourself because you feel like you can't do what they're doing. So I had to learn to believe in myself, be confident in myself, and realize that I had to work at my own pace.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Love
Love
Speaks.
speaks.
I'm your host, Francois, along with my beautiful co host.
LaKisha Carvil.
We're so excited that you've decided to join us one more time for another episode of Love Speaks, where love speaks what love is, whether it is in culture, spirituality, or what's happening in the now. Today, I'm super excited to be discussing a topic concerning entrepreneurship. Not long ago, I was shopping, and while I was shopping, I was approached by an individual who asked me, do I support small local black businesses? And we engage in such a conversation about engaging and supporting small local businesses, but particularly for us, businesses that are in the black community.
I understand because businesses in the Black community are vital. They are the cornerstones of our community. And just having a entrepreneurial background and also coming from a legacy of entrepreneurs. My grandfather had a grocery store. My uncle had a small grocery store. And so even my father had a little entrepreneurship. And I saw him have a small business out of an apartment. So it is vital that we support Black businesses, and not only that, but support our young entrepreneurs today.
It's amazing as you mentioned that because I knew these things about you, but it's just right now coming into full circle that we kind of come from a similar background because my great grandmother was a successful business owner. My grandmother was a successful business owner. I have different family members who are successful business owner. And I know personally you have proven yourself to be an entrepreneur and God knows I've helped support your business and your many different endeavors. But it is something that we have to keep in the forefront of our people. And sometimes we have to let people know, hey, this is what's popping. This is what's happening here and in the now. Being able to support small businesses, especially small businesses that do it well in the ideology or the spirit of excellence.
I know there's a stigma, especially when we talk about Black businesses. Oftentimes, I've heard in conversations, oh, I don't support Black businesses because there's no professionalism, they lack customer service. But I come to tell you today that's not all businesses. And you have to be able to separate, compartmentalize, okay? They were bad, but that's not make all small business owners bad. And so we have to bring notoriety, especially in this 2025 year, in this 21st century. We must bring notoriety to our small Black businesses and support them because that's what's going to continue to advance our community, to advance our churches.
And in reality, we all start somewhere. We all start somewhere. The old saying goes that Rome was not built overnight. We all start somewhere. But it's easy for me to support a business that is proving itself to want to grow, proving itself to want to learn. It's hard working with an entrepreneur who feels like their way is the only way and they're totally right. Because after all, we are here in any business, we're here to support our local community. Without customers, customers are the true bosses. And without customers supporting that business, we all start somewhere.
I totally agree because I always approach life with this mantra that life is a buffet. You go to a buffet, I know I'm not a big fan of buffets, but I occasionally go. But when I do go to a buffet, I take what I like and I leave what I don't like. And so, even in your mentality as we are approaching this topic of business owners, you can take from the business that you like and leave the ones that you don't like because they have not proven themselves. And so I think that's a point that we all can adopt and take on this life journey with us.
Absolutely. And I am in particularly excited about our guest on this episode. I had the opportunity to know her for a number of years. She proves herself to be a lady of elegance and a lady of grace. She is also very sincere and knows how to be stern to handle the affairs of her business. She has multiple things working out for her, but one of the things that we're here to talk about on today is one of her businesses, which I know I have supported and continually will support, is simply called Simply Impressed. Simply Impressed. Would you help me welcome Miss Kiki Giselle? I'm sorry. Did I say that right?
No.
Help me out.
It is Kiki Gisselle.
Giselle,
Yes.
thank you so much. Welcome to Love Speaks. We're so happy to have you here. Aren't we happy to have her?
Welcome, Kiki Gisselle.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here. I'm honored.
Awesome. I mean, and you've been doing a great job. You've been doing magnificent. So tell us, I mean, of course we can see by show off that shirt. Show off that shirt. Yeah.
Beautiful.
We can tell by your shirt somewhat what your business is all about. But tell us a little bit about what your business is all about.
So my business is catered to making press-on nails for the everyday woman, and if you want to be a little more extravagant, I can do that too. And so yeah, that's what I do. I make press-on nails, and I create simple designs, custom designs, whatever you want, I do it.
Wow.
And I have taken the advantage of that. I have my press on nails that are phenomenal that had the butterfly logo.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely gorgeous. And they were created for my specific organization at that time and what I requested. And the workmanship was phenomenal.
Thank you.
So now, how long ago did you start this business? How long did you start this business? How long you been in operation?
I have been in operation now for 5 years. Yes, I was like, oh my goodness, yes. So I have been in business for 5 years, but press on nails has been a part of my story for as long as I could remember. I wore press on nails to my prom. So yes, press on nails and nails in general has just been a great pleasure of mine, and I love everything about nails.
I know we live in this day where a lot of ladies are wearing acrylic and those things of that sort, which will last so long. But I'm a man and I'm an all day man and I love being a man. However, I love the idea of change
Yes.
and being able to change and just the spare of the moment, just being able to change. And I think that's what your nails kind of add to a lady who is a fashionista
Yes.
that wants to go ahead and if you want to run the runway, you can pop them and keep going and match your outfit and keep going.
Absolutely. I'm
I know.
Yes, that's definitely something that the press on nail community offer convenience.
Yes.
So it beats having to make an appointment. It beats having to sit in a salon, and it's quick. It's easy. Usually they last if you just glue them on. They last about a week or up to 2 weeks. a week and a half to 2 weeks. It depends on the glue, how you prep your natural nails. And then there are different ways that you can apply press on nails that can make them last longer. You can actually use acrylic to apply them so they can last more than 2 to 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yes, so there's different ways that you can make them last.
And I bet the
And
ladies, I bet the ladies out there didn't know
yeah,
that technique because yeah, in most cases when we think about press on nails, we're putting them on tonight because we're going to an event and we're taking them off tonight
yeah,
or by, tomorrow morning or maybe the next day after that. But to know that they can last for 2 weeks if they are applied correctly, because that's normally what a normal set of nails, whether you're getting your nails acrylic, sometimes they may last because we normally go every 2 weeks to get a
yeah,
touch up or a refill. Or if you're doing gel nails and you're doing just manicures, those last, about a week or two. So it's
yeah.
great information.
Thank you. And I actually do my press on nails with gel polish so that they last longer, not regular polish because they'll be chipping.
So, in other words, your nails are high quality.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That's nothing beats high quality, and I know this feels like a lady conversation. So I'm almost ready to back out, but it's interesting to me because you said it's how you prep your nails.
Yes.
I barely get a manicure, but you've done my manicure. You've done a great job. I barely get a manicure, and I'm like, nail preparation? What is that? Don't you just wash your hands and stick them on?
You can, but
I
it
don't
won't last long.
And I don't think it's just a ladies' conversation because I think men should be interested in their, wife, your fiance, their girlfriends, that process as well. And
Yes.
just to know, hey, gentlemen, you're out there maybe as a nice Christmas gift, Mother's Day gift, you can purchase a pair of nails from Simply Impressed and be a blessing to the one you love. Yeah, so it's going to be an awesome. I do have one additional question I'd like to ask you in regards to the name. What inspired the name of your business, Simply Impressed?
So I like to describe myself as a simple girl. So I wanted to create nails for the everyday woman, people that can just wear nails for like a couple of days and then they got to take them off because of what they do for their career. So I wanted to create something simple. And so I'm like, I'm simple. And then my nails, they're press ons. So why not just combine the two? Simply impressed.
I love the
Beautiful.
creativity of that. And for me, I like you. I like simplicity.
Yes.
I've heard it somewhere a long time ago how less is best.
Hmm.
And so being able to simply do things, and I think she's just a simply beautiful young lady, don't you think?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
And so I love all of those things about that. So that's simply impressed because it's impressive that your press-ons are just simply beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay. So now, do you offer other services? Of course, I know you do offer other services other than just press-on nails.
Yes. So I actually, when I started my business, I didn't want to limit myself to just doing press ons. And I also didn't want to run the risk of being sued. So I was like, let me go to school, get my license. So I am a licensed nail technician. I do offer manicure services. I've done acrylic services for now. Those are the only two that I offer right now.
Okay. Beautiful. And I love that you're professionally trained.
Yes.
You just didn't learn it in your grandma bathroom. You're professionally trained. I love that.
Hear that? She's licensed. So
Yes.
that makes the difference. She's not just cooking up nails and mailing you packages. She's been trained and she is licensed to do this. So that's an added perk. That's an added plus because we have so many who are business owners but not trained or licensed. I don't do business first because if anyone comes to my house, small business is one of my pet peeves. Are you licensed? Because if you mess up anything, and are you insured? Because
Yes.
it's a very important question to ask. So another question I want to ask you is when you think about being a small business owners, what are some of the challenges that you have endured as a small business owner, and that, you can encourage someone else in a small business that maybe says, I've been doing this for a week. I've been doing this, because you've been in business now for over 2 years.
Yeah.
Five, yeah. So over 5 years. And so you've endured some tests, some trials, and some tribulations in this. I know it wasn't a walk in the park. So what was some of the challenges you had to overcome, and how can you encourage someone else that's on that journey?
Some of the challenges that I had to overcome was um, learning to, first and foremost, you got to pray. That's first and foremost.
Let's start there.
Start there. And I had to learn to believe in myself because I was like, oh, I don't know, I can't. And then I found myself comparing myself to other people, but then I had to realize, like, these people have been doing this for 30 plus years. Yes, they're inspiring. Yes, you want to get to that level, but don't compare yourself. Don't, limit yourself because you feel like you can't do what they're doing. So I had to learn to believe in myself, be confident in myself, and realize that I had to work at my own pace. I had to work at my own pace because you get into these business groups and it's just like go, 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 go. You got to open up 7 business accounts. Da, 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 da. But then you sit there and you're like, wait, I got all these business accounts, but there's no money coming in.
Come on.
Like, I had to sit back and be like, what works for Simply Impressed?
Yes.
And I actually learned that from you guys in our marriage counseling. So I had to learn what works. I had to learn to be okay with going back to the drawing board, stealing away from social media, praying to God, asking God to give me strategy, and just focusing on what do I want this business to become.
Yeah.
So that's my encouragement to any business owner out there. Work at your own pace. Know your worth. Know that you have the vision and this purpose for a reason. Go after your dreams, but don't be so hungry for it. Just, pace yourself and do what works for you. And don't. And another thing is do your research. Do your research. Do your homework. Don't copy people. You can be inspired by others, but don't take other people's information. And if you are going to replicate someone else's design, give them the credit. So that's something. And with my clients, a lot of them come to me because I make custom sets. They come to me with designs that are already created, and I tell them, okay, I could do that, but I put my own twist to it because I don't want people to be like, oh, she coming after my stuff. No, ma'am. This is Kiki Gisselle flavor on here.
Yes.
So that would be my advice, to just pace yourself, believe in yourself, take your time. You're not in a race with anybody else but yourself.
Absolutely. And that's most definitely great advice. And one of the things that I just also believe is that it's good to, like you said, be inspired by others, be inspired by your atmosphere. But it's most so important that you stay genuine to who you are.
Yeah.
Because your clientele is out there. Your people are out there for you.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about trying to steal nobody else. And at the same time, if they support that one in you, that's good too.
Yes.
Because they can't give what you're giving.
Exactly.
So I'm loving that. What ways can you be reached? Are you on social media? Do you have any what's your social media platforms and websites or anything like that?
Yes. So my social media platforms is Simply Impressed LLC on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And my website is simplyimpressedllc.com.
Awesome. Now, do you ship anywhere or do they have to come in person?
It's both. They could pick them up or I can ship them to them. It depends where they're located.
Okay.
Just probably not overseas.
Not overseas yet.
Not
Okay,
yet.
so if you're in the continental United States of America, you can get you a pair of don't get a pair of Simply Impress on nails. Get you multiple. Get your favorite color. Get that different color. Get that different design that matches your very nice event. I had a birthday party a few years ago. in which I did 3 wardrobe changes. So any ladies out there that's getting ready to have a birthday party, that would be something fun to do. Come out with a different set of nails for each. Now, is that possible?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And for each outfit, break out a different pair of nails to match the theme of each outfit, and that really sets off your entire event.
And I know you're wearing your own product now,
Oh,
so let's show the ladies what they get. Let's show the ladies.
This is one of my more
let's flash them to the
simple-
camera. Show the ladies what they get. Show them what they
This is one
get.
of my more simpler sets.
Beautiful. Representing the Valentine season, right? Representing the
Yes.
season of love. I love the red. I love the uniqueness. I love, love, love.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Such a wonderful job. Beautiful person. And she's a wonderful person to be in business with, because the quality, her passion for it, and her customer service is phenomenal. Because even I had a friend of mine who purchased a pair of nails and they were a little too long. And she said, I just needed them filed down some. There was no complaints. There was no attitude. There was no problem. She did the job and she, provided those smaller, shorter nails. So they're customized to your fitting, your liking. And if you want them adjusted, she's here to do that as well. So
Yes.
thank you for being one of the phenomenal Black business owners in the South Florida region.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for being on our show, Love Speaks. And I really felt love speaking through you as you spoke about Simply Impressed. And this is what Love Speak is all about. Because if there's no love in what you're doing, we're not trying to talk to you right now. We'll talk to you, but just not right now. We want to experience those who have love and passion behind anything that they are doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, you want to reach out to Kiki Gisselle, and get your Simply Impressed hand. And you know what? I got one more question. I'm sorry. One more question. Love speaks what love does in our culture, in our spirit, and in our now. Real talk, there are a lot more men coloring their nails. There are a lot more men from pro athletes to everyone. And do you offer men products?
I offer manicures for men.
Okay.
But if they want to buy nails, that's fine too.
Exactly, because I'm wondering, because I've seen that a lot where I have a friend of mine who is a professional pianist. He plays classical updated piano, and all he does is every time I turn around, he got a new color on his fingers. And he's just kind of like that hip hop classical type. So I'm just kind of wondering, can men pop them to those on and keep going whilst they sport their basketball, sport their piano playing, or whatever that is?
They probably will need a stronger glue, but yes.
So thank you so much for being with us. Any last words?
No, just thank you again for being here on the show and sharing all of what you're doing for the community and what you're doing to help women beautify themselves. Thank you. I don't know about self-care is so important. And sometimes we make excuses that we can't do it because of time or money. But let me tell you, you get you a pair of these press-ons, you have more than enough time, because it only takes how many minutes to install?
Less than 5.
Less than 5 minutes. And some of us go to these shops and we're sitting in that hour and a half, 2 hours. Take advantage of Simply Impressed. And thank you so much for joining another episode of Love Speaks.